Alright, turn the lights on for a bit. Otherwise it gets really grim. We'll make it cozy again for the main event. Some Home Story Cup preparations, apparently. We're ready. The real reason we all go to Krefeld. Alright, game 1 for our second best of 5 is going to be played on Golden Aura. I know what to expect. You guys know what to expect. Luolis knows what to expect. I asked Luolis, he wanted to play again in the Big Brain Bouts for a long time. I said, do you think you can handle boanaan? He's like, I'm pretty good against cannons. I was like, but he's really good with cannons. He's like, I think I can do it. Let's see. I think it's a tough one. Because it's hard to practice for this stuff. Since boanaan obviously does it better than most of the other people that you're going to practice with. Now, there is a famous cannon rusher in Finland called the Mas Zero. Why did you delete that message, Rainer? Rainer, are you working the Big Brain Bouts here, Rainer? Making sure that my chat is safe. Now, boanaan has only played one time. Boanaan is 1-0 in the Big Brain Bouts. Luolis is 0-1. That is the historic record of these two.
Let's get it on.
Round 1, fight!
Yo, Shane, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it. You're an absolute stud today. You're so sweet to me. More bits today than I think I have received in the entire month of October. If that's not a reason to celebrate, I don't know what is. In the bottom right side of Golden Aura, we're looking at the main base of a Finnish Terran player. They recently had some Finnish championships. He practiced really hard for it. It didn't work out. He was a bit disappointed. I said, well, mate, how about an appearance in the Big Brain Bouts? A second series of the night means $80 for the winner, $20 for the loser. This man is going to have to deal with a lot of cannons. He knows it. It's Luolis. Top left side, we are looking at the main base of our Dutch Protoss cannon rusher. And of course, it's the Forge first. He is 1-0 on the Friday night. Can he make it 2-0? It's boanaan. Here comes our first pylon. So this will most likely turn into cannons, batteries, a lot of batteries, maybe one void ray, and then Tempest. He's actually, since he scouts the full wall off, he prioritizes getting the gateway first, so he wants to get his transition going as quickly as possible. These depots will eventually fall. I feel like that is kind of inevitable. Single gas defense so far. So I guess once the bunker is up, at least you're going to be safe against the Zealot, the Stalker. You could have to worry about adepts though, because once the depots are done, there's a chance that boanaan will make a couple of adepts. I'm not sure if that cannon can go up. I don't know if I like this cannon. But I am not quite the expert cannon rusher, guys. We need Fear Dragon and Coco for this. They have a lot more experience in this regard than I do. Hold position being used on the probe to give high ground vision. We'll take it from here. Please rebuild you. Oh, he didn't rebuild the depot, guys. That is not quite the start I think you're looking for. A very early supply block, 23 out of 23. He's going to lose the second depot as well. I'm already a tiny bit worried. I don't know if it's too early to be worried or not, but hey, please build another depot because you're going to be supply blocked forever. He's now 24 out of 23. Now we're building two depots at the same time. I'm not sure if this is the hottest preparation I've ever seen for the cannon rush, guys, because if we are not thinking of losing that depot, I don't know how we have prepared, but okay. Since we're getting a tech lab early on the factory, I guess he's gonna go for a tank. A while ago I had a little banter with boanaan. And boanaan kept on trying to kill the tank of Milky Cow. And I was like, why are you so worried about the tank? And he's like, oh, the tank is actually like the only unit I have to worry about. It's the best possible defense. And I'm like, bro, that's just not true. I was like, you're spamming Tempest, we're not worried about the tank. He's like, oh, no, it's all about the tank. I was like, boanaan, I was doing proxy Tempest before you were able to walk, okay? And I was not worried about the tank. And he was like, listen, old man, times have changed. It's all about the tank now. And I was like, okay, feisty. The adept is gonna get picked off by the Marines, so that part is good. Void Ray with prismatic alignment can kill a tank rather quickly. Obviously, batteries do not spawn with full energy on the other side of the map, so that was definitely a bit of a nerf. On Siege the tank. The Void Ray is now looking for an angle. Seems that Luolis is aware of it. Okay, I guess this part is looking pretty good. Going into Vikings very early. He had an SCV, by the way, out on the map. Seems like... Oh, I don't know if I like that. Now that tank is going to get picked off almost immediately. He's going to try to repair it. It's Marines and Vikings, but the first tank dies. Couple of beauty arrows so far in the defense of Luolis. Okay, imagine if you have two tanks right now shooting at the cannon and draining the batteries. Okay. Micro on the Viking at least is solid, and Marine does die. SCVs are another repair. Boanaan is already taking an expand in the bottom left. He's going to try to take the gold. The batteries are drained. And since there is no nexus to overcharge, maybe if the Viking count... Now at 4, maybe the 4 Vikings can already battle the Tempest and the Void Ray. With a bit of micro. Even though Boanaan has had better victories than Luolis, and is maybe a higher MMR player, I think if the games are normal, if it ever comes down to Bio against Gateway, I do think that Luolis is probably the better player. But can we get there without being dead? That is the big question. We are chrono boosting now our fleet beacon, but we're not researching anything. Maybe Boanaan also feeling a little bit of pressure. I'm not hating what I see right now out of our Finnish Terran player. It's starting to look somewhat decent. Despite the fact that he lost the tank early. Like 2 Tempests and a Void is not that scary. Not a single Viking has died. That is very important. When I saw the games between... when I saw a couple of the static defenses being unpowered over here. When I saw the games between Milky Cow and Boanaan, Milky Cow made a lot of dives with the Vikings over the cannons, and then he couldn't quite get what he was looking for. One tank is low on HP, but the tank gets repaired. Vikings gonna protect it. It's starting to look very good, I think, for Luolis. He did lose his... No, he didn't. But just chase, mate. I don't understand right now why you wouldn't chase. I mean, maybe he doesn't truly have to, but he's got so many Vikings. I did not cast those games, Oglarino. It's the only clan war I've ever missed of Basilisk. And Basilisk is to blame for that, not me. My passion was there, but I was in Las Vegas for TwitchCon during that clan war. So that is the only one that I did not see, I did not cover. The games were played at like 4 AM as well, so I couldn't do anything. Yona said you got lazy. Yona said I also got lazy because I... by the way, the Vikings are gonna go ahead and find that gold. There is an SCV still. Cannons are not here yet. This is looking really good for Luolis. Yona also said I got lazy because I didn't do interviews, but the only reason I didn't do interviews is because you guys were not available. I always want to do interviews. I'm so excited for an interview on Sunday. Because you know what I'm going to ask Yona Reina. You know what I'm going to ask him. Why did he leave my boy Rainer on red? Why did we not give an answer? I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. So Boanaan is now going to go into charge lots. Honestly, Vikings are really good against charge lots. We have a couple of Stalkers. This is now a bit of a weird fight. Stalkers are good on the ground, I guess. Maybe this wasn't quite the move with our Vikings. We lost 3 of them, but he took out the gold.
Game paused.
As it seems like we need a pause. The dogs are going insane. How many dogs do we have? What kind of dogs are we talking about? All these questions. I need more information right now. I mean, I don't know what that's about, guys. There's only one thing I know so far. And that is that Luolis absolutely has that dog in him. Because he's playing good. He took out these cannons without an issue. So, Those dogs are alive and kicking. Now boanaan, the man who cannon rushes every single game, and just wants to spam tempers and batteries and cannons, is forced to play somewhat normal.
Game resumed.
Now, I don't know how normal a game is when you still have a Void Ray 3 Tempest and we're going into charge first, but this is as normal as a game will get for boanaan. Vikings are definitely in a bit of a tricky spot, and it would be super annoying to lose these Vikings. Oh no, can he click them further back? This is actually a very bad spot, guys, because the Void Ray is coming. And the Tempest is coming as well. The Vikings are just... No, they're gonna land! Oh my goodness, we lost now every single Viking without really getting anything. Gets one Stalker, has lost all of his Vikings. And if we already had Stim Bio, I'd say that's not a problem, but we don't. Now you can just harass, no? boanaan should absolutely harass. Oh man, he's gonna kick himself for that Viking chase. Like, obviously taking care of the gold was good, but then going up with the Vikings, it seems that that was a terrible mistake. This is gonna be so annoying, guys. Stim gets started up, but until Stim is done, there's nothing you can do against these Tempests. That may very well have been a game-losing mistake. A single auto turret is gonna get dropped. It buys some time, but he needs so much time. 29 workers against 29 workers, though. Produce SCVs, please. The man needs a non-stop SCV production here. He's going to lose one of his tanks. First two Vikings are out, and at least the Vikings can buy some more time for you. One of the Tempests is very low on HP. Painful. We go from even worker count or even being ahead in workers to now being down 7 workers. And we're gonna bleed out a lot of units. Never think it's over. There may not be cannons and batteries here, but the Tempests are still out there. Ay, ay, ay. The chase with the Vikings towards the center left turns out to be a very, very painful one for the man who is the underdog. We do have 4 Vikings again. I think with 4 Vikings we can battle a little bit as long as we have some marine support. There is marine support. A couple of Zealots with charge are going to show up though, and it's not many, but even just a few Zealots can already be somewhat problematic. One of the tanks dies immediately. These are some of the more random fights that you're going to see today. I think there is something happening here. Raven harass. Auto turrets going down. I mean, Luolis right now. No, he's... What? Okay. I mean, he is down a lot of workers. I'd still kind of like to see him try, because you have Stim. Don't know if it's truly worth leaving, but maybe just a little tilted that he lost all the Vikings the way he did. He is obviously down 16 workers. That is a problem. But if you have Stim against a man with only 0 Zealots, and that's all the tech he has, I think maybe you could try, but... It is what it is. boanaan, the Dutchman, takes the 1-0 lead after what felt like a pretty rough start. Luolis obviously will know where that went wrong. Should have never ever made that move with the Vikings. Getting on top of the gold, completely fine. Everything that happened after that was not fine. It was very painful. Felt like boanaan could have protected his gold base too. I don't know if he really could have done that against that many Vikings. He didn't have the 3 Stalkers yet at that point. If he had the 3 Stalkers, I would agree. But I don't think he had those yet. Game 2. Hardlet. Probably more cannons. More batteries. Friday night. Big Brain Bouts. Brother, you look leaner. I knew that these filters would come in handy one day. You're going to see me in Germany soon at Krefeld, mate. And you're going to be like, whoa. Roddy. I take it back. And I'm like, I know, mate. It is what it is. Game 2. Hardlet. After this, we have a back-to-back PVZ. First, we got Sebades against Figaro. Figaro has never played in the Big Brain Bouts. He is an epic land champ. Sebades has played 1 time, and I think he lost.
Round 2. Fight!
I will dim my lights again a little bit later, but if I keep it as dark as it was, And I have to do 4 best of 5s, and I already streamed 6 hours today. I'm gonna get sleepy, and I don't want to be sleepy, so we'll do that later. The coziness is coming, don't you worry. Bottom right side of Heartlet. We are looking at the main base of our Finnish Terran. He is down 0-1. He knows what to expect. He knows that he was doing a lot of things right. So perhaps you can still tank some confidence out of that. This is Luolis. And obviously we could have done even better if we were just able to rebuild the depots a bit quicker. Top left side, we are looking at the main base of the Dutchman. He cannon rushes every single game, no matter the race, no matter the map. He doesn't know any other way of life than forge first. This is boanaan. Nobody knows how much the Tempest upgrade is. I have to say, if I have to guess, I'd say 150, 100 or something. It's not super expensive, the Tempest upgrade. I'd say 150 minerals, 100 gas, or maybe 150, 150. Yeah. Something like that. It's not crazy expensive. I think any impulse crystals is around the same, right? He will go forge first in every game, guys. You do not have to be stunned by it. We don't have to go crazy over it. He's gonna go forge first every single game. Please rebuild your depots a bit early this time around. Okay. So this time around, it's a very early Nexus, by the way, on the other side of the map. This is boanaan's strategy, by the way, guys. The strategy is not will I cannon rush or not. The strategy is how committed am I to the cannon rush. No, I don't think he's a robo boy. I think he's always a Stargate boy. But he could just kind of fake it. Pretend that he's cannon rushing. And then I guess we can go Twilight. Oh, careful with the cannon. And then I guess he could go Twilight Council and spam gateway units. Even if you're not quite a macro god, everyone is capable of warping in 8 gateways. Researching blink and charge and taking the game from there. If you don't wall off, the problem is then that it's very easy for a boanaan to get a pylon up in the main. And if a pylon goes up in the main, and before you know it, cannons are in range of your mineral line. That's why they like to wall off. I think walling off is not the worst thing of all of this, but losing 2 depots is kind of problematic. Go, get on top of the pylon. The Zealot has already died. I actually think the 3 Marines should be able to unpower this gateway before the Stalker is out. It is somewhat close, but I believe in the power of the Marine. Maybe not quite. Stalker is gonna get out. Chrono boost, very useful. He had the pylon, but at that point the probe died. So Luolis was the Terran player, right? That once upon a time beat the Rainer's Protoss on Data C. I think that was Luolis, or am I crazy? With the Ultimate Marine Tank Liberator rolling. And then after Rainer went down 0-1, he switched to Zerg and he won both games in 3 minutes. It was either Luolis or it was a other Terran. Yeah, he built the robo, but he did not build the robo under the idea of, okay, it's going to be an Immortal and a War Prism and cannons and batteries. He's building a robo, which does surprise me, by the way, because I thought he always would go Twilight Council. I guess we're going quick. I don't know where we're going, actually. Disruptor? Colossus? I have no idea. In the end, boanaan has an expand. He's up 8 workers. Is forced to play a somewhat normal game. I think Luolis should be a minor favorite in those. But obviously this is way above my pay grade. I'm not a cannon rusher. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know who's gonna excel at what. I bet Luolis is also a little bit surprised. He's like, wait a minute, there was only 1 cannon. Is he gonna land the Vikings? Now, I wouldn't hate it actually. Yeah, landing the Vikings here, not bad. A lot of lost mining time, 3 probes go down immediately. With a bit of luck, you can maybe kill a Stalker, but Big Daddy Immortal's out. 4 probes in the end, though. I'd say that's okay because I don't think that the Vikings were going to be all that useful. But since we're going Colossus, maybe they would have been. I don't know. It is confusing. I have no idea where these Nords are going to go. We have 4 probes, lost mining time, and of course by losing your Vikings to an Immortal, you know there is an Immortal. And Immortals can only come from one place, guys. And it's not when Mommy and Daddy love each other very much. It's when a Protoss operator warps in the robotics facility. So that's a scout. And I guess it's somewhat useful. Who is ahead? Good question. I think it's pretty damn even. Maybe I like... If Luolis would be very deadly, I like it a bit more for him. Because the Protoss army is going to be weak for a very long time. Like, Colossus are good against Marines. They're not going to be great against tanks and Marauders. But will he be able to capitalize on the fact that his army is better? That I don't know. Like, if nothing happens in the next 2 minutes, then obviously I think it's better for boanaan. But if Luolis makes a move out with 3-4 Marauders, bunch of Marines, tanks, and the 2 medevacs, I think he's got a lot of potential. Naniwa says whoever micros is ahead, and yeah, I think I can get behind that. Okay. That is something that maybe has potential, but you need to be so careful because Stim is done. Obviously, at this point, Luolis wishes that he did not give up on the 2 Vikings, but you don't know that. Mate, if he stims and he kills that prism... Okay. Good start for the Colossus. Nice job by Luolis immediately moving the Marines back. Colossus does not have extended thermal lens, so... this prism play maybe not quite as effective as it could be. Colossus is very low in HP, though. Like, this Protoss army is not great, guys. First tank is going to siege up. Marines is going to stim forward. Obviously, you want to kite back to the tanks. The tanks are getting some really big shots off. I'm feeling this execution so far by Luolis. I think he handled this really well. I love the siege. I love the commitment there with the stim. Then running away against the Colossus, the Immortal. Unsieging 3 tanks, I want to say, is maybe a little bit much. But hey, if the tanks targeted the right units, and they absolutely are, this should be good. I think we've got a series on our hands because this seems like we're all tied up. I wasn't sure if Luolis was going to make that move out, but he did. And he handled it well. He microed it well. And that should be all 0, I think. boanaan is just dead. Not the most eventful game of all time, but well done by Luolis. Shield battery overcharge does get activated. Maybe the Immortal can get in range of the tank, but 2 base Protoss is just not good. I don't really see this go anywhere. Empty medevac was very eager to boost into the main base of the Terran. Hitting the $1 million question there, Coco. I don't know. The Zealots do have charge now, and they have +1, so they're not completely without upgrades, but there should be no way. As long as the Finnish Terran player just kind of keeps the aggression up. I wouldn't hate a scan here, by the way, to take out this observer. Make life a little bit easier. Valtteri. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy that his name is Valtteri. You haven't made that up, I believe it. Valtteri Bottas. What if it is Valtteri Bottas? Viking flies into the main base. A single Viking landing here could actually be annoying to deal with. There are no units, no shield battery. boanaan, I think, is not used to being dropped. He is normally the one who is on the other side of the map with Tempest. It's a big old Terran army here. Obviously, you don't want to see the Marines lead the charge against the Colossus with extended thermal lens, but there should be no way for the Dutch Protoss here. I honestly think you can just go forward, mate. Get those tanks in range of the battery here. If the Protoss wants to fight, go ahead and let him fight. Yeah, very solid performance by Luolis. Played it well. Needs to pay attention here, but I think APM-wise, when it comes to stuff like mini-map awareness, when it comes to crisis management, I do think the men from Finland should have the upper hand. Any game that lets him get up to 2 bases with stim, tanks, combat shield. And I think he should be the favorite. Cuckoo beat Beyond in the best of 1. What is happening? Is it like King of the Hill or something? Or where are they playing? It's just the day of Team Red Pack apparently. Sean getting the 3-0. Cuckoo taking out Beyond. The $7.50 King of the Hill. I love that Beyond is farming that. Marines and Marauders being dropped in the main base. There is nothing here for the Protoss to fight back, so a few more probes will fall. The Marauders are having a little dance party. Reminds me of Gabe in Krefeld when they start doing circles all by themselves. Few of the Zealots, by the way, are dealing a little more damage than I guess they are supposed to be dealing. Does seem that Luolis is struggling a little bit, spending his money. He's sitting on 1,400 minerals, 1,000 gas. These nerds just need to build stuff. You don't have to worry about what you're building. Even the wrong unit will deal a lot more damage than no units at all, guys. So if you're ever not sure what to build, just build anything. A Nova is pretty good. Luolis, mate. He's still here? He's still here. He's microing. We're about to get 2-2 Terran against just +2 Protoss, so... third base is up again. I'm starting to get a tiny bit concerned. Like, I shouldn't be concerned. This game was over. I still think it's kind of over. But he's completely unaware that Boanaan has taken this base for the 3rd time in this game. So he's now trying to end what he thinks is a 2-base Protoss, but it's a 3-base Protoss. Two Immortals, 3 Disruptors, 2 Colossus, by the way. Like, it's made. Please check. Okay. He is gonna go ahead and stim towards the right. He's like, oh my goodness, it's back? Hell yes, baby, it is back. I would always take out the battery here, by the way, if you can. Takes out 16 probes very quickly. He's gonna take out the Nexus as well. I still think your life would have been easier if you've taken out the battery too, but it's all good. Now just gonna run away a little bit from this Protoss army. Marines and Marauders having a field day against Stalker only. I like how that Nova also killed the pylon pretty much. And the gate. 3 tanks are left by themselves. 1 Marauder is gonna die almost immediately. Target fire, mate. Target fire on the Colossus. Okay, it's a little bit chaotic here. We are floating a bit too much money. But I think it's safe to say that the man from Finland is gonna tie things up. GG gets called. Obvious error on the side of Boanaan. Single cannon, never enough. We need more cannons. This is where Boanaan is like, you know, I tried. Let's go back to Tempest, Void Rays, cannons, and batteries. I have to admit that this stat looks a little bit concerning, by the way, guys. A 13-minute, 41-second game. And we were supply blocked for 3 minutes of it. That's a minute or two too much. A minute is allowed. 3 minutes and 18 seconds. We need to be a little bit better than that. But hey, he won. That's all that matters. I guess that explains why we were floating some money towards the end. I guess he was just too supply blocked. Shane Larson, guys, just keeps on going. And I love it. You know, mate, I'm going to go to the supermarket one of these days. Maybe Monday. Like somewhere between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. I've got time. I'm going to buy some of these cards that I can hang in my Christmas tree. And Shane, you'll be up there. Right next to Stitch, who is eating the top of my tree. How many bits is worth the sub? But that depends, I guess, where you're subbing from. But if you would go under the assumption that everybody is subbing from the United States of America, it costs them $5. I get 3.5 from that. So if somebody sends me 350 bits, that's basically 1 sub. We're all tied up, guys, after 2. And that is what we love to see in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. If you guys have any questions about this event, you can always do !BBB. And if you want to show love to BASILISK for putting up $500 for a couple of games tonight, !BASILISK. And you guys can find all the information you need over there.
Round 3.
Fight.
Top left side of Oceanborn. We are looking at the main base of the Dutch Protoss. The question is not when is he going to drop the forge. The question is how early. And the answer is always pretty much immediately, as soon as the pilot is done. This is boanaan. I think he's teamless, but I'm not sure. Should form a team with Coco, to be honest. Coco, boanaan, the Moss Zero, Print F, Turkey Dano, Fear Dragon. I think you guys can sell this as a business idea to Fear Dragon. He likes to spend money on Starcraft. In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of our Finnish Terran. We're all tied up. This is Luolis. How can I support them? You can support Basilisk, mate, by following them on the socials, whether it's YouTube or Twitter, and just write nice things to them. We do not sell anything. We don't offer anything. I know a lot of you guys are waiting for a shop, because the Basilisk hoodies are very cool. The sweatshirts and the polos are very cool. Maybe eventually you guys will be able to get your hands on those. Just keep on letting Basilisk know. But at the moment, there's nothing else that you can really do. Just be kind. Be happy. Show them some love by writing nice words. And that's all they want. Toss on a cheeky proxy Rex by Luolis. What kind of proxy Rex? You mean a barracks? One barracks at home, one barracks on the other side of the map? He's definitely going to build way more cannons this time around. I feel that boanaan will know rather quickly that something is missing. And then he will scout for it, and if he scouts for it and it backfires, then your tech is delayed, right? And then you could be in more trouble against Void Rays and Tempest, so... Yeah, I don't know. It could be an option to just build a barracks somewhere and try to run 5 Marines into the main, but if there is then a cannon and a battery in the main and they recall the Void and it doesn't do anything... Who is my favorite SC2 Pro that doesn't play anymore? It's always kind of hard to answer, mate, because I don't spend too much time thinking of people that don't play anymore. Just like, if they're happier in life by doing other stuff, I'm happy for them. But someone who I always enjoyed watching when I was young was at least Rain. I know he plays Brute War, but he doesn't play Starcraft 2. So when it comes to gameplay, my answer would be Rain. When it comes to personality, I really miss Red. Because I thought Red was a really cool guy. Super fun to hang out with. Red and Bling, two awesome European dudes to spend a lot of time with. Not so much for what they showed in-game, but out-of-game, I really like those two. You love the French guy in Wings of Liberty? Stefano? Well, you might see him play sometime soon. He has played in the Big Brain Bouts not too long ago. But you might see Stefano play some games soon. That's all I can say. Alright guys, we have a tank out. Obviously, we cannot lose that tank. What Luolis did do incredibly well, I think, in game 1 was repairing the tank non-stop whenever it was in a tiny bit of danger. boanaan is going to switch it up. We have 2 adepts shading into the back of the main. The only problem is with 2 adepts is that they don't one-shot SCVs, they don't one-shot Marines. You need 3. So, you will not get too much done. But hey, while the adepts were distracting the Terran, boanaan does get that tank. The tank that we know he hates so much. Because according to him, the tanks are the biggest problem when you cannon rush. In what game? You guys will see Stefano play some Starcraft 2. Real soon. That's all I can say. It's not rocket science, guys. But that's all I can say. My lips are sealed besides this. But it will be awesome. And to be fair, the last time we saw Stefano play in the Big Brain Bouts, not too long ago, he was damn good. He completely wiped the floor with Wannabe Beyond. And Wannabe Beyond is a damn talented Terran player, so... And I believe that the last time I spoke with Stefano, which was very recent, I asked him, how good are you? Stefano said, I'm absolutely terrible. He's like, this is the worst I've ever been, but I am 6k. So, he's still above 6k MMR, but he says he's awful. Overall, this doesn't look too shabby, by the way, guys, for Luolis. Honestly, I think he's doing quite decent against the cannons. And, you know, the Viking count is high. He's not doing anything silly. The Adept Shade does finish up. While all the Vikings land in the back of the main. Is this a moment that the Void Ray is going to go for something? Nope. So I guess the Adepts buy you some time. Boanaan does already have this natural expand. This is not going to stay alive at all. I feel that Boanaan is honestly in a bit of trouble. Oh, this is actually very problematic too. The Gateway gets unpowered while the Stalker is like 97% done. So now you don't even have that tiny bit of constant DPS from the low ground. Honestly, Boanaan is in trouble. I would say this looks very similar to game 1, but potentially even worse. And obviously Luolis has learned from that mistake in game 1. And Vikings will be useful in the air or on the ground. If you don't lose them all by themselves in the middle of nowhere, they're always going to be very useful. He was right about the tank. Oh, back in my days, mate, I didn't give a damn about that tank. So painful, by the way, to lose all these pylons now as well. I guess the Stargate and Fleet Beacon era is completely over. Boanaan is 7 workers ahead though. He already has a couple of gates. If I was Luolis right now, and I looked at how that previous game played out, you know what you do, guys? Is you just float over this command center. You could move out with this army. Like, this is a pretty good army, but you need to know what you're up against. So a scan is not a bad idea. But honestly, he can also just stay at home. Because players like Boanaan will always attack. They're not going to go up to 5 bases, 95 probes, triple forge. They will always attack. So when you're the one attacking them, you're technically playing a little bit of a risky game. But to be fair, man, this is going to do great. These Zealots don't have charge yet. Land your Vikings and you have a field day. Yes, there is a Void Ray. Yes, there is a Tempest, but you can leave a couple of... Oh, this is smart, by the way, leaving like 3 Vikings. Just go! No, go! Oh, man, he goes home. He would have won that fight so hard. He actually would have won that fight so hard if he went. But it's okay. If you want to go home, that is fine. But please get a bunker and a wall up. Like depot, bunker, eBay. No, Terran is absolutely not that. It's 2 base Protoss with only Zealots. But just get a wall off. Because the guy will always attack you. There's a pylon, by the way. Hello? Oh my god, he's gonna play mech. He's gonna play mech. Okay. Well, here we go. Land your Vikings. Vikings are really good against Zealots, by the way. You know, tanks are not good against Zealots. But sometimes the Zealots are very clumped up. And then the tanks can actually get really big shots up. Like, the Terran is absolutely winning. Is ahead. But there are so many different ways that this can play out. Earlier today, we had TY trying to play mech against Nice on the Ratu set. It felt that the mech player was winning. The mech player should have won. And then the mech player died against 20 Zealots. And I can have the same speech as I always have. Where everyone says that mech is terrible. I think mech is good. Mech always looks promising and then it always loses. Earlier today, I had that speech and obviously mech lost. I think it can win. I think Luolis is pretty decent with mech. As long as we get a bunch of Hellbats to tank against Zealots, I think he should be fine. Storm can be obviously decent against massive numbers of Vikings and stuff, but the rest of the army of Boanaan, like, this is such a random army. 10 minutes into the game, you have a Tempest and a Void Ray, 2 Stalkers and a couple of Zealots roaming the center of the map. Like, doesn't really do a whole lot. We don't have a Robo. That's a little bit scary. Because I think Boanaan will never figure out he's playing against mech. He hasn't seen anything. And even if he knows, if you ask me right now, what should he do? I mean, I guess you can just mass expand. Because like gateway units can be good against mech, but you really need to play the mobility game. And Storm can be like somewhat useful, but it can be very difficult to land Storms if the tank count is high. Obviously, storm drops are not a thing against a man with 12 Vikings. Hej, du pratar svenska? Nie svenska i machete, bitte. Varsågod. No bitte. Alright, 4 Hellions get donated, but they kill 5 probes. And if you're boanaan and you see 4 Hellions now, does that make the alarm bells go off a little bit, guys? It's not Varsågod, it's like Varsågod. Hey, hey. Varsågod. Alright, guys, boanaan is gonna attack the mech player. If all the Vikings are in the sky, maybe the Zealots can do very well. This Liberator, I think, is also going to do very well. I don't know if boanaan is going to be very aware of it. Actually, it's just a few Zealots. If he would attack with his entire army right now, I think he would have a chance. Couple Hellions, guys, are going to distract the Protoss army. Liberator gets 5 kills very quickly. Hellions don't have Blue Flame yet, but 3. Ooh, nice warp in. Actually, very nice warp in. Kind of blocks the Hellions. Okay. Who do you guys think wins this game? I feel like it's so impossible to predict. I think the Terran is winning, but I don't know if the Terran will actually win. You guys are mech believers today? I guess if mech was ever gonna shine, it has to be against the cannon rusher that is forced to play somewhat of a macro game. Blue Flame, by the way, guys. One shot. Liberator res is honestly very nice. The first one got 5 probes. The second one is gonna get at least 4. No, 5. I mean, boanaan is just kind of hurting. Hello, Gross Papa. You'd say that if mech was ever gonna win, it has to be mech, right? It has to be this game. But I have to admit, I'm a little bit traumatized of the amount of random games that I see Zealots win against mech. And I just don't understand why my Zealots never do that. Yeah, boanaan is just... It feels in a very, very rough spot. Between the rock and the hard place, these attacks, they're not going to do anything. Nothing. And Luolis is even getting Thors already. Immortals are good and have a lot of potential. But you're going to need so many. They're going to need great upgrades. And then ideally, you need to engage when the Terran isn't sieged up. This should never go well for boanaan. But he is double expanding. That's the right call. But it's just all a little bit late. He's obviously been in a rough economic spot. Boanaan's MMR a while ago was 5,600. Right now he's 5,300. So I don't know if something changed in the cannon rushing meta. But obviously a lot of his MMR is earned in the first 5 to 8 minutes of Starcraft 2. If you ask boanaan's MMR past the 10-minute mark, once we enter double digits, it's probably a little bit lower. He might be 6k in the first 10 minutes, but he might be 4k in the next 10. I don't know if it's that extreme, but there's probably a little bit of truth to that. What is this army? What am I looking at? It's like a couple Zealots, a couple Stalkers, an Immortal, a few Storms. I would really like Disruptors. I think with Disruptors you always have a good chance. Without a single Disruptor, it seems so hard to get good fights. Maybe the Zealots can surprise me one more time. These Zealot run-bys have not been very successful. And that is putting it mildly. Alright, the Terran army is on the move. There's still that leftover Tempest and Void Ray, but that's obviously not going to do anything. We're just going to need so many Storms, I guess. Okay, is he going to go for it? Will he commit? The Void Ray gets obliterated. The first Storm is not great. The second Storm... I mean, it's very windy outside as well in the Netherlands. I'm just going to assume, guys, that the in-real life Storm took control of boanaan's mice there. And that's why he missed. That one was a bit better. We missed another one. Not a bad one here on the tanks. And actually, this mech army is now starting to thin out. The Vikings will finally land. We have a few more tanks in the back, and especially these tanks in the back line. They are doing the vast majority of the work. Unfortunately, we have no backup High Templars anymore. I mean, now the Protoss army, you think it has potential, right? The Immortal count is a bit higher. The Immortal count is very high. Immortals are good. They're ripping through these things. And the one downside of mech has always been that it's so hard to retreat with mech. If you're losing a fight, you're almost like kind of just stuck and you're losing every single unit. Big Daddy Immortal, guys, getting some work done. Boanaan still left a decent amount of units at home, but honestly, that went better for Boanaan than I thought. But he's about to lose a lot of probes. Maybe, though, he can kill a lot of... What is this? Okay, we're going to kill SCVs as well. So we're losing probes, we're killing SCVs. I was wondering if the Protoss army could get on top of this. In the end, we're going to go for a recall, but it's a little bit late. Oh, he's going to lose more. He's going to lose so many more. We have a shield battery, but that's not really going to save you. Not the best target firing here on the Hellions, I'll be dead honest. Could have killed a little more. Gets 1 or 2 good shots off there towards the end. 49 probes against 67 SCVs. I think a lot of additional SCVs are about to fall. Did warp in a few Zealots and a single Stalker to deal with this Hellion drive-by. Could have gone for that, to be honest, man. You have Blue Flame. Showing a lot of respect. Protoss is thinking of going for it, and Protoss will go for it. Tanks are a bit exposed, but there's so little anti-air that 1 or 2 Liberators are going to make this game hell, to quote Mixu, for the Protoss. Now the Libs are sieged up very, very defensively. It's Mass Repair against Mass Immortal. Turns out Mass Immortal is better, and the Archons are getting some sick shots off on all the SCVs there that were clumped up. And Luolis loses his 4th base, while Boanaan is now chilling on 5. Protoss has done it again, guys. I really don't know why mech loses every single game I've ever seen. Like, I don't think mech is that bad. If I play against mech, it's so good. And if it's done well, I think it has a lot of potential. But how this went wrong, I've got no idea. Even Clem's dad thought the Terran was winning. And Clem's dad is a very wise man. Okay, Boanaan, if we're going to walk past all these tanks, we could still lose. I guess there is still a world where the Terran player wins. If we keep on killing this many probes. We're floating over our main. Like, I think Luolis last time, obviously he ate some storms on the tanks. Can happen, not the end of the world. But I think he left a lot of units at home. And I think we didn't have too many Hellbats anymore to tank. He should be able to max out one more time. We're killing more probes by it. The Liberators have been so successful. Boanaan is thinking of going for it, but this time around I think the tank line is very deep. Immortals are pretty insane. They actually got better. Immortals obviously got better in this patch than they were before, so that could help. It'd be so sick if Luolis could add in like 2 ghosts. If you can actually add it, go for these probes. I know there's a couple Stalkers there, but why not? You should be able to get 1 or 2 good shots off. Boanaan is now going to try to get on top of the original main base that's in the bottom side of the map, and the mech army is out of position. And this is going to be really painful, because with the economy that Luolis has, he cannot afford to lose more SCVs. These Archons, by the way, they're just one-shotting SCVs. So sick. Archons are insane. Orbital does not die. The last air unit of the early game has fallen. That Tempest survived, by the way, for 20 minutes. Not bad. Don't lose it. Oh, the Archons are going to go for it. The Archons and the T-Rex arms. What is this? A Zealot run by? It is a Zealot run by, potentially. Why no? Yeah, just 3 ghosts, mate. 3 ghosts. Tanks die very quickly. These Zealots have insane upgrades. 3-3 on gateway units. Stalkers and Archons are going to go for the 5-6 tanks over here. And the first tank shots are promising. But in the end, the Archons will get on top of the tanks. That means that all these tanks fall. And mech has failed us once more. It always looks promising and it never wins. That is very similar to my nights in the casino, by the way, guys. It always looks promising. Well, somehow we never get the job done. Boanaan takes a 2-1 lead. How did we get there? I don't know. But he has taken the lead. Luolis could have just killed him, by the way, as well in the beginning of the game, man. He landed the right amount of Vikings, kept a couple Vikings in the sky. If he just A-moves with on-siege tanks and landed Vikings, like, Zealots will get obliterated one by one. Charge wasn't even ready yet. Oh. Because Vikings on the ground are really good against Zealots. Oh well. Boanaan takes the 2-1 lead. These are very long games, by the way, for Boanaan. Never did I think Boanaan would have longer games than Wingant. Hopefully our boy Wingant is okay, by the way. Did any of my boys in the chat check in on Wingant? I know that he probably took it pretty hard. But please tell me he's okay. To become a champ, we all need to take a couple L's. Naniwa, a very successful StarCraft 2 player, was victorious in tournaments all around the world. Took a lot of L's in Warcraft 3. Especially against this man. Just kidding, Nani. He also got me once right. On Echo Isles. I'll still remember. The town portal to the bottom right side. It still hurts. I know, Johan. I know. Yeah. I know, mate.
Round 4.
Fight.
Bottom left side of Hecate. We are looking at the main base of the Finnish Terran. Honestly, this could have been a 3-0 already, but I'm sure that's how a lot of Terrans and Zergs out there feel. Ooh, misplaced the... What was that? What did he build first? The depot, right? I misplaced the depot. It could have been a 3-0, but I'm sure that's how a lot of Terrans and Zergs feel around the world when they play against cannon rushes. Instead, it is 1-2. Can we turn things around? It is Luolis. His second appearance ever in the Big Brain Bouts. The winner of this best of 5 gets $80. The loser gets a 20. Top right side of Hecate, we are looking at the main base of our Dutch Protoss player. Oh my goodness, he's dropping a forge. We knew he was going to drop a forge, because that's what he does all the time. And this is why we invited him, because I wanted to see some cannons tonight. This is boanaan. He is Dutch, but do not ask me what a boanaan is or what it means. I don't know. If you remove the O, his name is banana. Dutch word for banana is banaan. What boanaan means, that I don't know. Did I watch any Thanksgiving NFL games? Yeah. I saw that the Lions dropped the ball. Besides that, it looked pretty cool. Can't believe that the Lions lost to Green Bay. I think tonight Nathanius' team is playing, the Jets. I like looking forward to Nate's team, because I have legitimately never seen those guys win a game. It's inevitable. Nate gets excited, the Jets lose. Rinse and repeat every single season. I feel really sorry for Nate. I hope that his boys can have a good season once, but they never win. And yeah, they're playing against the Dolphins, so... yeah, somehow they're the only team who won against the Eagles. There's a reason for that, Vonroflu. I am the reason for that. Cannon and a gateway. 2 more gates. Boanaan is going to switch it up. And this actually can be pretty difficult to scout. Oh, he kills the probe. But he loses a marine. And the man has no idea about gateway number 2 and 3. The right choice here would actually be a cyclone, guys. Like, if you go a cyclone, you're absolutely cooking if you're Luolis. But he hasn't gone for a cyclone in any of the games. So I don't think he will. The 3-gate can actually catch him off guard here. Oh, I feel a bit sorry for Luolis, because he legitimately should have won game 1. He absolutely should have won game 3. And now I'm afraid he's actually going to lose this one. Wingant is coping. Give the boys some love. Yeah, I'm worried. It is a cannon rush into 3 gateways of 1 base. Now, this scout is actually, or these 3 adepts, sure, this is a problem. It's gonna deal a lot of damage. I guess the silver lining of this is that at least he knows, but at what cost does he know? At the cost of, please build SCVs, mate. You're gonna lose so many SCVs. As a Terran player, you always need to be building SCVs in these scenarios, because you know you're gonna lose a bunch. And this is what sets the likes of Clem and Gabe apart, because under any circumstance, they are rebuilding their workers. So even when the Protoss kills a lot, they still have a lot. But you guys can see we're not building anything. That's so painful. Can we repair the tank? It is repair against the depths, but there is no surface area to repair the tank. At least all the SCVs do get surrounded though, and the landed Viking packs a punch. So tank dies, 5 adepts die. I don't know what to make of that. I really think you should get a Cyclone here, man. Cyclone's so good against gateway units. If there are no blink stalkers on the map, a Cyclone is so good. That tank, by the way, okay, it's gonna work first on the cannon, and then it can work on the pylon. And if you take out the pylon, all 3 gates are unpowered. Yeah, it's gonna take a little while. We have 1 Viking, by the way, that's gonna go to the other side of the map. And it's gonna try to kill 20 probes. Maybe there's no recall? No, there will always be a recall. Good warp in here. Very good warp in, actually. Boanaan with some excellent minimap awareness, guys. Warps in the double stalker. They get the kill. Not quite the kill, I guess, but takes no damage. This game looks very grim. Out of all the games, I think this is by far and away the worst start for Luolis. Boanaan shaded in there, guys, and he shot at the refinery with his adepts, but I don't think it matters. That man is cooking. He's got a 2-base setup. I think it's kind of over. Game 1 and Game 3 looked so much better than this one. Nice switch up by Boanaan. I guess that's one of the strengths that he has as a cannon rusher. That not every game is cannons, batteries, Tempest. He tried that once. Kind of tried it a second time, but then he transitioned out of it. And it's so hard as a Terran, I guess, to figure out how committed they are or if something else is happening. And this time around, something else was happening. Kataro says that I should let him cook. I will let Luolis cook, and I like to see him fight. But I'm also always honest when we cast on this channel, and I don't see a way for him, unfortunately. Like, we're expanding while being 19 workers behind. We don't have stim, we don't have combat shield. And we're 19 workers behind, and we got 1 stim and 2 medevacs against gateway only. I absolutely believe, but we have a bunch of marines with 0 upgrades. He is gonna unpower 3 gates, but ooh, wait, we cancelled the CC. I like that more, to be honest. I like the cancel. No, kill the gates too. He's gonna ignore it. I think Boanaan is the kind of guy to sneak a probe to the other side of the map and repower the gateways. We're just gonna send it, guys. Just sending it on 1 base. But I think it's gonna be a lot harder than it was in that previous game. We don't have that many landed Vikings. Zealot charge is done. I don't see a way. Let's see. Maybe a bit of anti-micro. Maybe we can get like a bunker and an eBay or something, you know, that can kind of force the Zealots to all clump up, but it would take a minor miracle for Luolis to win this. I think the Zealot count is too damn high. And obviously there are batteries to buy time. I think you can just A-move. If I'm Boanaan, I just A-move here. He's gonna warp in a few more Zealots. Look, he's gonna repower the gates, by the way, guys. But I don't think we even get to see that. Here come all the Zealots with charge, with +1. A little bit of Stark support as well. That is going to be good enough. The second series of the day goes in favor of Boanaan. He will win $80. Luolis will still get 20. Luolis should have won game 1 and should have won game 3. He will be kicking himself for those. Boanaan, guys, with a perfect 2-0. That's it. What if he is the one Protoss out there that can beat max packs? I think we need Boanaan max packs for the ultimate best of 5. To see him cannon rush max packs 5 games in a row. That'd be sick. Actually, that's must watch television. Great idea. We're gonna make it happen. GG's Boanaan. Congrats. It's okay, Luolis. I think it's definitely a series that you can learn a lot from, matey. Choose prediction outcome. 51% of you guys believed in our Dutch cannon rusher. 49% of the amount of people voted for Luolis. It is Boanaan who gets the job done in the end. That means we're getting ready for our co-main event of the evening. It's Figaro, one of the UK boys. UK Zergi versus Sebadas. A Czech rep P. These guys are around, let's say 5.7, 5.8k MMR. These are two names that we're maybe not that familiar with if you don't watch StarCraft all the time. Sabadas is a Protoss that I honestly didn't know that well until maybe 6-7 months ago. Started seeing him a lot more. Plays a decent amount. He's a grinder. Seems like a very good kid. And is getting better at a very rapid pace. Because when I discovered him, he was like 5'1", 5'2". Now he's casually chilling at 5'6", 5'7". He's taking out some big names in the online tournaments. And Figaro has won an Epic LAN. And honestly, guys, if you're not familiar with Epic LAN, it's a big deal. Go ahead and look it up. How many Epic LANs did Cero win? I mean, I will never say a bad word about Cero. He's my teammate. A lot of people see him as the GOAT. But as far as I know, 0 Epic LAN wins for Cero. Raynor, 0. Maru, 0. Figaro, 1. So, Figaro is a stud. I'm going to go ahead and take a little break. And after that, I'll be back with a co-main event of the evening. 5.7k MMR, give or take, for these guys. Sabadas versus Figaro. PVZ. I'll see you guys soon.